Hi everybody, Josh Ford here. Checking in after a little hiatus. I had a lot going on. There was a lot going on in the news, in the media, a lot going on with spiritually in the awakening, and yeah, I just put a lot of time into kind of thinking about what I wanted to say to you guys. So, basically, everything we're dealing with is very connected these days, whether it's politics or the spiritual world or non-terrestrials. And, right now we're dealing with, the evolution of our planet, our solar system, and, it's evolving us along with it. And just as the oligarchy can no longer hide who they are spiritually, they're this dark entity on the planet that, is finally being revealed to us. And that's how Trump and the alliance are able to deal with them now. They're no longer being covered by, a veil of ignorance, I suppose, is what I would call it. So now we've got this veil of ignorance being lifted, and we can deal with this bigger problem of the oligarchy, and Trump and the alliance are doing that. And, a lot of, when I was running for U.S. Senate and stuff, that was very much the universe kind of, it needed me to do that at that point in time. And it was a great experience. I had a lot of fun doing it. But that was, an experience I was supposed to have, something that was supposed to lead me onto another path, which is the spiritual path. And now, I've evolved what I bring to you guys. I don't just talk politics anymore. It's politics and the spiritual and kind of the greater what's going on, cosmically. So you guys are going to have to let me know what you think of all this. So, please leave comments below, like it, let me know. I look forward to hearing what you guys got to say about all this. Right now, we're all kind of dealing with this evolution of the planet and our species into this higher density, and it's tough to talk about, it really is. But it brings out, it's not just the hidden things of the oligarchy, it brings out these aspects of all of us that maybe we've hidden and put down and we didn't want to deal with, and so we've, packed them away in the closet, don't want to deal with them. And we all kind of have to find ways of dealing with these things that are coming up. It's all of us are evolving spiritually, and so all of us have to deal with kind of this excess baggage that we may have with us, possess. I'm no different than anybody else. I'm dealing with my baggage, finding some positive ways to deal with it. I paint in the background. Been doing a lot of painting, talking it out, what's going on in my life, where I am, some positive things I can look forward to. Getting married and stuff is very much in my future now. I'm very excited about that. Hope she is too. Just kidding. But we're dealing with a lot of spiritual things, and so you need to find some positive avenues of releasing maybe some negative karma, some, deep down pent up things that you need to set free. Like I said, you can paint, maybe you play sports, maybe you talk to a loved one, the one you're going to marry, and you let her know what's going on and how you feel and kind of unload. It's really, we're all going to find our own different ways on how we're going to deal with this. But, there's just a few suggestions. As this is all going on, this is how Trump and the alliance are able to deal with the oligarchy. They're being brought to the light with, their sex cults and the murder of children and things like that. I mean, some very dark things that have been going on in our world, and I don't even like talking about it, honestly, because it's the stuff that, if you have a heart, if you have a soul, you just can't believe this kind of thing has been going on underfoot, in such an enormous, across the world kind of scheme against the people of our planet, really. And, a lot of it A lot of it has to do with things that you may never have wanted to take into account. Okay? Usually, you guys know I follow Jordan from Destroying the Illusion. I think he does a great job of kind of breaking down Q and all the latest in the news and stuff like that. I also started listening a lot to David Wilcox, and if you don't know him, he talks a lot about disclosure and non-terrestrials, and he very much has his fingers in a lot of the military pies that, to look for non-terrestrials. But now, because of his connections, it seems he's also being a path for the military to kind of release information to us. So, he has that very genuineness about himself, that he's trying to reveal information, that he's trying to help people. Could he be being fooled by whoever's talking to him? Maybe. I don't think so, though. So I'm kind of going with what he's saying. We have a lot to learn, a lot to unveil. Watching his videos, recently we found some things in Antarctica, some civilizations that, basically it's Atlantis is what we found. We're dealing with, the military fighting in Antarctica, underground bases and stuff that, we wonder where our tax dollars have gone, right? They're fighting in underground bases that the oligarchy had built up as bunkers, and because they had planned to wipe out a lot of the surface population with nuclear weapons. So they had these cities and stuff set up underground where they could live the good life until the surface was clear. So, right now, some of this is a full-on shooting war. And, there are good guys and bad guys, giving their lives. And, one thing or another, taking life is never a good thing. Okay? And our soldiers that are fighting, our spies, the military that's fighting for us, we really have to say a prayer for them. Put out some positive energy to them. Taking lives is never a good thing. It has detrimental effects on people because it's that thing that we're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to take a life. And, I've seen it as a sheriff, as a son. I've seen what these effects can have on people when, they had to take a life. Some people go, it's no big deal, I could take a life. It affects. It has great effects, and it will affect your karma in this life, and if you don't find ways of dealing with it, it'll affect your karma in the next life. So you have to start dealing with this, and, there's ways that we can help because we're all connected. So put out some positive thoughts for our soldiers, for those that are trying to free us from this evil. They're doing things that we may not be able to do ourselves, that we're not even going to hear about for, until the whole war is over. And that's when they're talking disclosure. And that's another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, was disclosure. Now, as I'm watching David Wilcox, he's talking about how, there are different factions inside our military, inside the secret space programs, inside the Alliance. Okay? The non-terrestrials, like the blue avians and stuff, they want full disclosure. They want the humanity to rise together as one, to get the technology, to learn who we really are spiritually, and kind of evolve, so we can join them in the stars and just, Star Trek it out. The Trekkie in me loves the idea of this future, and I'm very excited for it. But on the other hand, some of these factions, they don't want instant disclosure. Because, some of these people in high, powerful places within the Alliance, who are the good guys, they were part of the oligarchy at some point, and they left. They decided that they wanted to be heroes, they wanted to do the right thing, they wanted to save the Earth and humanity, the United States, and so they had to jump ship from the bad guys. And so, so they want to hide, the mistakes they made. And I can understand that. You know, God knows what those mistakes include. If we want full disclosure, though, we almost have to, you know, spiritually, cosmically, suck it up, say, we forgive you. And that's what David Wilcox was saying. You know, part of me doesn't like it. You know, part of me goes, you committed crimes, you should do the time. But at the same time, they're saving humanity. You know, they may have done bad things, but right now they're doing good things. And spiritually, we are supposed to forgive one another. So I think it may not be easy. It may not happen overnight. But we have to find ways to forgive the alliance so that we can get this full disclosure, so that we can get introduced to all the non-terrestrials, so that we can get released all kinds of technologies that, you know, have been hidden from us. And it's going to make for an amazing future if we can evolve fast enough to forgive. So, you know, we really have to, you know, a lot of what's going on and who we are is about how we affect our reality through our thoughts and emotions. And let's put some positive thoughts out there. Let's put some positive thoughts about Iran and Trump, and hopefully putting an end to the terrorists in Iran without too much going on. You know, let's find a positive way to deal with that. So put some positive thoughts out there, and, you know, together we can free ourselves. So, you know, I encourage you guys to work on some meditation, some yoga, and hopefully we can continue to put out positive vibrations into, you know, our Mother Earth Gaia here, and we're going to move things forward. And I'm going to move forward into being a father now and help out my girl. So I'd like to thank you all. Peace out. Like I said, please leave some comments. Let me know what you guys think about this video. I appreciate your time. Thank you.